We have had very, very strong talks. We'll see where they lead.
Now, Trump, meanwhile, in a Monday Morning Truth Social post, wrote in all caps that U.S. and Iran.
Please report the United States of America and the country of Iran have had over the last 2 days very good and productive conversations regarding and complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East. Based on the tenor and the tone of these in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversations, which will continue throughout the week, I have instructed the Department of War to postpone any all-military strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for a 5-day period. Subject to the succession of ongoing meetings and discussions, thank you for your attention to this matter.
So then what happened is that a few days ago, the White House began saying that when Trump himself said it, that there are direct talks happening between Iran and the White House. I spoke to Iranian officials. They said this is completely false, that once again, the U.S. is asking for talks and is sending messages through Pakistan, Turkey, and Egypt. And so it's.
Whoa. Pakistan, Turkey, and Egypt. Trump is sending messages through Pakistan, Turkey, and Egypt. So Iran has got them blocked from communication. He trying to get through. That's crazy, bro. And Trump talking about it's a he say, she say at this point, who rejecting who. But look, I'm going to say this. Trump sent 1,000 troops. We might have 5, 10,000, 20,000 troops in the region. Iran's probably got a military of 500,000. So you do the math on that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they have a military of 200,000-300,000, but we're gonna need more troops for sure. Let's see what she has to say.
Since the start of the conflict, the Strait of Hormuz has been at the center of attention. Iran's effective closure of this crucial waterway has wiped out 20 million barrels of oil per day from the markets. That's 20% of global consumption. The remaining 80%.
Okay, so it's happening to everybody's getting blocked.
Or 80 million barrels comes from the Americas, Africa, and
Iran is smart. They're not just blocking America, they're blocking everybody. So what that does is everybody's going to have higher prices because everybody's going to be pissed off at America because why would they mess with Iran?
Eurasia. Despite that, why is almost every part of the world reeling from high fuel prices? That's because oil is traded on a global market system. So any sudden disruption to daily supplies, as we are seeing in the Strait of Hormuz, can cause a surge in Brent crude prices, which is a benchmark for oil prices worldwide.
Okay, so yeah, I guess last video I was wondering where the oil came from. So I'm assuming the oil comes from right here in the area here, and then they ship down and out.
Brent has mostly been trading above $100 a barrel since the conflict began.
Brent crude is what you need to invest in, apparently, if you want to be part of this money-making war scheme.
And with the U.S. being the world's biggest producer and consumer, energy firms are profiting because they're selling a high-demand product tied to geopolitical shifts.
Energy firms are profiting. Oh, man. Imagine everybody's trying to start a fire and you're selling fuel for a fire. It's like, here, everybody wants to hear you selling matches and everybody's fucking trying to start fires. You selling matches, bro. You winning.
Shifts and also supply shocks. But Americans are still paying high at the pumps. And that's because the U.S. is importing heavy oil to make gasoline.
I like how she just throws up random. Here you go. Here's one in L.A. Here's one in, I guess, supposed to be Chicago over here. I believe Chicago's right here near the water, and it comes straight down like that. So this is Chicago. I don't know what this is at the pumps, but she should have put it over here in New York, probably like this, that. But she just threw 3 random ones out, like, doot, doot, doot. Just random ones here.
And that comes from Canada and Latin America. And the prices of refined products like gasoline and diesel are even more volatile. And finally, the
volatile
supplies of liquefied natural gas could follow a similar pattern. Now, Qatar, a leading LNG exporter, halted production after Iranian attacks on its infrastructure. So now, if
the AI on her news is fucking immaculate. She tapped the drone icon and goes, sis. That shit look kind of dope. Look, watch. This is not part of anything, but look at this. Their news is fucking
Now,
lit.
Qatar, a
Look.
leading LNG exporter, halted production after Iranian attacks on its infrastructure. So
Man, imagine a video game like that. That should look dope as fuck.
now, if the supplies continue to remain halted, buyers may be looking at newer markets, and Qatar's loss may be the gain of American companies.
All right, so apparently Qatar is the place to be for oil exports. So this is another spot where they have oil factories or whatever she said. They're probably exporting, having ships come out of here. I believe they're having ships come up from over here because there's no point in getting Karg Island if you just need Qatar, you know. So I guess this whole region up here is full of oil, probably a whole massive deposit of oil like going along like that.